this blog post, I want to give an introduction to your glucometer. Now, I've got 2 dogs and 2 kids in the same room, so this may be noisy and annoying, but bear with me. So you get a brand new glucometer. I'm not sponsored by this particular brand, although if they want to send me money, I'd be okay with that. In fact, I don't use this brand because the strips are ungodly expensive for my patients. So, when you get a new glucometer, you're going to get a lot of reading material. We don't care too much about the strips information. You can always sign up for their free web classes and email spam, and some of it might be useful if you're new to diabetes and trying to figure out some of the details. Okay, so you open your glucometer. It comes in this handy little travel pack, and it should contain pretty much everything that you need to check your blood sugar. So the scariest part of this whole device is the Lancet finger stick device. This device, I've never actually opened up this particular brand before, so this may be interesting. Okay, the cap twists off. Then you find your Lancet device needles, which look something like this. And generally, for the most part, you stick that into the spring action device. Twist off the cap. So now you have this little tiny, extremely painful looking poking device. You can dial the Lancet device depth. This one goes from 1 to 7. Since I'm a banjo player and I have dainty fingers that are very sensitive to pain, I'm gonna just go to about 4 or 3. Now, you can put the cover back on, and that cover has a little tiny hole in the end of it, so that when you pull the cocking device back, then you can push the trigger and you hear the spring. It actually happens too fast to actually see, but the needle does poke out the tip of this device. And it only pokes out as far as however deep you dialed the device up to. Now, you want to wash your hands with soap and water and make sure they're dry. If you use rubbing alcohol to wipe off your finger to get it clean, you want to make sure it's really dry so that it does not interfere with the test results. Next, you'll pull out your glucometer, and it's generally kept in the package so tightly that if you have any kind of arthritis, you're never going to get it out. But that device will not turn on until you get a test strip. Test strips, this brand that I'm not sponsored by is, one of the more expensive ones. So these will be like $60 to $90 for 30 test strips. You can go to Walmart and get 30 test strips for a Walmart brand for $10. At the free clinic that I work at, we provide these, we pay for these testing supplies for people. So in order to get your device to turn on, you insert the test strip into the end of the device. Now, I've never actually seen this particular model before, so I'm not even sure which direction to insert it, which is okay because if I was motivated, I would read the literature. Then I dropped it, but that's okay. The main point of this vlog is to just teach you that you don't have to be afraid of your device. And at this point, usually I have to get out the owner's manual, which is in several different languages, so it's not that scary. Here we go. English. There's usually a quick start. Where's the quick start? Here it is. Quick start. Gold goes up. The side filled design. Oh, this has a side filled design. Okay, so I put it in correctly. But you know what? I have to charge this device. So I'll pause this vlog to go charge the device. Okay, the cool part about this glucometer is that it has a cable to charge the battery. The biggest problem that we run into in the clinic is patients don't realize that their glucometer requires batteries. And so when their batteries run dead, they stop checking their blood sugar because they don't realize that they're supposed to replace the battery. Okay, so I've got it charging. With this device, you actually have to set the date and time. So I will place the test strip into the glucometer. I'll pick English. Oh, maybe 5 o'clock. Does anybody know what today's date is? No. It says apply blood. This glucometer is awesome because it has a light in the tip. I've got the Lancet device set. I cocked the spring. I just have to poke my finger. Boy, that wasn't very painful at all. So I'm gonna have to dial it up a little deeper. Hold it tight against your finger. Kind of go for the side of the finger. Push the button. I'm bleeding! No, I'm not. That's not horrible. It's meant to be not very painful. Yeah, so basically you gotta keep poking until you get some blood. I got a little tiny bit of blood. Let's see if that's enough for this device. Probably not. Okay, so I held the device, the test strip, to the spot of blood on my finger. It sucks it in. Ooh, it says strip fill problem. Retest with a new strip. Okay, so get rid of that strip. Find my test strips. Get another one out of the package, out of the bottle. So when you first get a new glucometer, it's totally okay to fail miserably the first bottle of test strips until you actually learn how to do this. I might be able to get blood out of that finger, or I might have to poke my finger again. Ow! Wasn't that bad, really. Ta-da! So now it liked that sample, so it's running the test. It's got a little timer. Okay, and my blood sugar is 95. It's asking me if that was before or after a meal. Technically, it was after a meal, really. I've kind of been eating this afternoon, but I'll say before. And that's how you check your blood sugar. It's relatively painless. Now remember, you're dripping blood everywhere, potentially infectious. Clean off your finger, go wash it. If you need a Band-Aid, stick a Band-Aid on. I always get these booklets in the clinic with patients with their blood sugars, and it's covered with blood because they smear blood all over it, and it's just utterly disgusting. So pay attention when you're writing the booklet with your blood sugars. Try not to let it be nasty, covered with blood. Okay. That's the basic introduction to your glucometer. It does come with a little bottle of testing solution. This is like fake blood, so that you can test your glucometer and see if the blood sugar reading is accurate. So if you're not convinced you have diabetes and your blood sugar is 300 and you're like, this machine is totally not reading my blood sugar correctly, well, you have a bottle of test solution, so you can use that. And the booklet that comes with the machine will explain how to test your glucometer. And that's it. Just got a new glucometer, just recently diagnosed with diabetes. Just check your blood sugar first thing in the morning before you eat anything. You can drink water, but don't drink beverages that contain lots of sugar. And then that will give us a pretty good baseline to talk about at your next clinic visit.